The agent is the one who performs the actions on the environment. AI is a field which combines computer science and robust data sets and deep learning and machine learning. In 1950, Alan Turing developed the Turing test to see if a machine is perceived as intelligent. Computer scientists use rule-based system to create simple AI applications. Dear students, welcome to Computer Science classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Introduction to the AI. So the first chapter is Introduction to AI. So here in this session, we are going to discuss about the introduction to AI, history of AI, and simplex reflex agent. These are the topics to be covered in this session. Let us start with the introduction. Introduction to AI. So nowadays we are familiar with the word AI or artificial intelligence. That is, we are making a computer or a system to think like human beings so that it can take its own decision. So as and now, before AI, we know that computer is a dumb machine and it cannot think on its own. It was depending only on the user or the programs. Now, the AI is a system where we are making a computer system to think like human being and it can take decisions. So that is the basic definition of AI or artificial intelligence. So it's the simulation of human intelligence process by machines, especially computer system. So this is the definition of AI. And different applications of AI, if you look into that, there are it into expert systems, natural language, this NLP, and speech recognition and machine vision. Expert system, it is a part of AI, so it's going to work just like a human beings. So that is a expert system. And NLP, natural language processing, and all these are different applications of AI. And it is a field. AI is a field which combines computer science and robust data sets and deep learning and machine learning. See, these are the different fields involving in AI. So AI is a combination of different fields. Now in the next slide, we will see what are the different fields involving in developing AI. So here, the philosophy, mathematics and statistics, economics, neuroscience, psychology, computer science and engineering, control theory and cybernetics, and linguistics. See, these are different fields we are using in AI. So that is the meaning of it is a combination. So it is not a one field, it's a combination of different fields. So it made them to develop a system like AI or system artificial intelligence. Now let us look at real world example for AI, virtual assistants, autonomous vehicles, healthcare, smart home devices, finance and banking, robotics, gaming and entertainment, language translation, education, and retail. See, these are all the different applications where we are using AI in our day-to-day life. Now let us look into the history of AI. Under the heading of AI, history of AI, we are going to learn how the system has evolved to today or as and today. So at the beginning, if you look at the history, 1950, it was a Turing test which has been conducted, and 1956, coining the phrase AI. So AI was given the name around 1956. 1966, the first chatbot, and so 1972, MySyn is an expert system. 1997, it is Deep Blue, and 2011, it is voice assistants, and 23, chatbot, and our future. So if you look at the slide, see at the beginning, this is the Turing test. It was the beginning of AI system, and now you know what is ChatGPT as and today, and we cannot expect what would be the future of AI. So let us see this inventions or development one by one. Now, in 1950, Alan Turing developed the Turing test to see if a machine is perceived as intelligent. So, in 1950, Alan Turing he developed a test it's called Turing test. So, Turing test. What is Turing test? It is used to check the capability of a human machine. Does it think like human being, or it can be work like human beings? So that is a Turing test. It was conducted in 1950. Then 1956, in a scientific conference, they have coined the name as AI or artificial intelligence. And in 1966, the first chatbot that Eliza it is developed. You know what is chatbot? That's for communication. Next one is MySyn 1972. It is an again expert system. They were using it in the field of medicine, and this expert system they're using it in the field of medical science to find out the reason for a particular disease or particular virus, and also it used to predict or to recommend the antibiotic for that particular diseases. This is MySyn. And 1997, it's a Deep Blue. It is again and based on AI. It is a chess machine. It beats the world chess champion. So this is one of the AI system. Next, in 2011, it is voice assistant has been included, has been developed, and 2023 chat gpt nowadays everybody is using chat gpt for their different applications, and all these are the important milestone in the under the history of AI or important development in the field of artificial intelligence. Now, next slide is the past, early days of AI. So, what is the early days of the AI? I mean, what we have seen in the history, same thing repeats here. So, early days, computer scientists use rule-based system to create simple AI applications. So, it is based on some models or some based on some condition or some rules. This was a system. Then these system relied on set of predefined rules to make decision and solve problems. And in early AI system had limited capabilities and were unable to perform complex tasks. See, this was a system before the implement of AI or before the development of AI system. I mean, those systems were built based on the conditions or the rules or some models and set of predefined rules, and they could not able to perform anything much for complex problems. So this is the past of AI and present. Now the present of AI. Now all of you have seen the different examples of AI in our previous slide. So at present we are using AI in wide range of application industries, from industries, healthcare, and finance to retail and transportation. So we have seen in our previous slide the different applications of AI in our day-to-day life or in our real life. And for example, it is develop personalized medicine and improve fraud detection in finance and enhance customer experience in retail business. So these are the different applications, and it has been instrumental in solving some of the world's most processing problems, that is climate change, by providing new and innovative solutions. See, this is the advantage of AI. It is going to provide innovative solutions and with new different ideas or by using different technologies. This is the present AI, and in the future, as we cannot predict the future of AI, but we can list out few things. It is able to perform tasks such as creative writing, storytelling, and even art appreciation. And AI is expected to have significant impact in the field of healthcare, as we have seen in the previous slide, and in drug discovery and development of new medical technologies. This would be the future of AI. And in the field of education, and it used to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of education, and it's making more accessible to wide range of people. See, we can predict the future of, or it would be the future of AI. In the next slide, let's start with the concept AI agents. Now, before that, we will see what are different types of agents. So agents are nothing but is a part of AI system. It has a components like sensors, actuators, and it works based on certain decision or the input from the environment. So here we have different types of agents. One is simple reflex agents, model based reflex agents, goal based agents, utility based agents, and learning agent. These are different types of agents. Now let us learn this one by one. Again, these are the diagrammatic representation to show the different types of agents, AI agents. As I said, agents is a part of AI system, so it used to accept the input or percept from the environment and act accordingly through the actuators. That is the function of AI. Now, in the next slide, let us see first type of agent is simplex reflex agent. So, simplex reflex agent, it is one type of AI agents. So, before that, let me tell you what is an agent through this diagram. This AI agents, it consists of, or it comprises of sensors and actuators, and here it has some predefined conditions. So this is an environment. So here this is this environment, this is an agent, it is a part of AI system, it perceives the data. So here all the inputs are data sensed by these type of sensors of AI agent, and based on the conditions or based on the model is going to execute the action through actuators. So actuator is another component. It is going to execute the action based on the data through the sensors as well as the conditions or model, and the action is performed and it goes to the environment back. So this is the function of agent. It is a part of AI system. So now let us see the first type of agent, that is simplex reflex agent. So what is that? So it is simplest of all types of agent, and decisions or actions are taken based on current percept, which does not depend on the rest of the percept history. So what is the meaning of the current percept? So this type of agent is going to act upon the current data available with the agent. So here, that's the meaning of this. And it doesn't have any history, or it doesn't depend on the previous history of other data. These agents react only to the predefined rules. It works best when the environment is fully observable. Again, this agent will be having predefined rules, so it is going to act based on the predefined rules. Some examples we can see: a vacuum agent is a simple reflex example because the decision is based on the current location and whether the place contains dirt. See, this is a simple example. Now let us see this through this diagram. So this is an example for the diagram simplex reflex agent. As I told, this agent which has a sensors and actuators and this environment. So this type of agent, it percepts, or we can say it takes the input from the environment and through the sensors. Sensor will sense that, accept the data or input from the environment, and as we have seen in the definition, it has some predefined rules in this agent. So based on this, it is what is the world is like now, or what action should I do now. See, these are all things based on the condition. This is predefined condition. So data is accepted from the sensors, and based on this condition is going to act through the data through these actuators. Actuators are the one it execute the action. So this will be reflected in the environment. So this is the definition, basic definition of simple reflex agent. So it is going to work with the current percept or the current data or current the input sensed from the sensor. This is the simplex reflex agent. And here in the next slide we will see the working of that. It comprises the following parts as I told. One is agent. The agent is the one who performs the actions on the environment. The agent is the entire system is called an agent. So it comprises of so many components. And here the sensors. What is the use of sensor here? Sensors are the thing that senses the environment, or other words we can say it accepts the data input from the environment, and they are devices that measure the physical property. So that is the function of sensors. Actuators. See, what are actuators? Are the devices that convert energy into motion. So this is where the actions takes place. And environment, this is environment, it includes the surroundings of the agent. See, these are the different components of agents. It's a part of AI system. In the next slide, the actions are taken depending upon the condition. So here, if the condition is true, the relevant action is taken. If false, other action is taken. So because, as we have seen in the definition of that, so it is the simplex reflex agent. It works on the predefined rules which are existing. So based on that, it takes the, it's going to take the decision based on the current percept. The agent takes input from the environment through the sensors and delivers the output to the environment through actuators. So it takes the input and actuator for perform the action. Now the color rectangle denotes the current internal state of the agent decision process. So here, this is the environment agent. This indicates the oval represent the background information used in the process. This is simple reflex agent. Now let us move on to next slide. Here let us see another type of agent, that is model based reflex agent. Second type is model based reflex agent. See, this is a diagram here and for model, and you can make out the difference between this model and the previous model. See, this is the diagram for simplex reflex agent, where you can see sensors, actuators and condition action rules. And if you look at the model based agent, reflex agent, see, this is the diagram. So here, this is the environment and these are sensors which perceive the input or data from the environment, actuators, action to be performed, and apart from condition, you can see that we have different state. The state of the environment, how the world evolves, and what may action do. See, these are different based on the current state is going to take decision. Again, it also has a predefined models. So this is the schematic diagram for model reflex agent. Now let us see the definition of this. A model-based reflex agents are a type of intelligent agent in AI that operates on the basis of simplified model of the world. So here, if you look at the definition of simple reflex agent, it used to take action work based on the current percepts or the data input at that particular time. But this model-based reflex agent, it works based on the simplified model in the agent. So this agent maintains an internal representation or model of the environment that allows them to anticipate the consequences of their action. So in this model, there are predefined models will be existing, and all the actions are taken based on the model and the decision based on that executing model. And it will be having different types of model and different types of input based on different type of environment. See, that is the concept of model-based reflex agent. Now let us see in the next slide, what are the key components of model-based reflex agent? See here, as we have seen, first we have a sensors, and the what is the function of sensors? It is an interface between the agent and its surroundings or environment. And what is the function of this? To gather information on the environments of the current state. And they can be physical or virtual. If I say physical, it can be camera, temperature, sensors, and so on. And for virtual, example may be database APIs providing data for decision making. So one is a sensor, it is a part of AI system. So it is an interface or it accepts data, current data, or gathers the data from the environment. And data can be from different, it may be from physical devices or maybe from different database functions. Next one is internal model. So because this model-based reflex agent, it works based on the predefined models existing in the system. Internal model is the agent's understanding of the environment, encompassing knowledge of the dynamics, rules, and potential outcome of the actions. So constructed from the experience, sensory inputs, and domain knowledge for reasoning and decision making. So what is interstate or intermodel? It is nothing but, as we know that it works based on the model. So the model is built based on different types of environment. So one is by understanding the environment and also the knowledge of dynamics and knowledge of the rules and potential outcome of different input, and also based on different rules. So the particular models are built based on these factors. So there will be different models for different types of input and also different types of environment. Based on that, our action will be taken. That is internal model. Next one is reasoning component. So the reasoning component uses information from the sensors and internal models to make decision. So the decision is taken based on the model as well as the input from the sensor. And this can be rule-based, logical reasoning, or machine learning. And it evaluates the environment, predicts outcome, and picks the action based on the goals. So this is another reasoning component. So it used to take different types of decision, maybe a logical reasoning or rules-based reasoning or based on the models. So it takes action based on the decision from the sensors as well as from the models. Next, actuators. So actuators, it facilitates the agent's interaction with the environment through executing the action. So what is the function of actuators? Is going to execute the action based on the decision taken in respective models. And here, whether it may be a physical like motors or virtual interfaces. And effectors translate decision into environmental changes, closing the agent's perception action cycle. So this is how the action takes place. So any decision and action takes place based on the decisions and that is in the AI agent. So based on that agent decision, it performs the actions and it will be effective in the environment, or the action will be resulting in the environment. So this is the components of AI system, that is in model-based reflex agent. In the next slide, how is going to work? We can say what is the working of model-based reflex agent. So one is perception. So the perception is nothing but the input of data from the environment. So the agent perceives. If I say agent, because sensors are a part of agent, so agent perceives the input state through sensors, current environment through the sensors, which provide the information about the current state such as the presence of obstacles, objects, or other agents. See, these are different types of input the sensor can senses. Next one is modeling the environment. This is the second concept. Here, the agent maintains an internal model of the environment which includes information about the state of the world, the possible action it can take, and expects outcome of those actions. See, as it is a model-based reflex agent, so it will be having a predefined models, as I told you, for types of input and different you may get different outputs or the result or actions. That is modeling the environment. Next one is decision making. So the another component here, it take a decision based on the current perceptual input and internal model of the environment. And here the agent selects the action to perform. As we have seen in the previous simple reflex agent, it works based on the current scenario or the current percepts or the current input or data. But model-based reflex agent, it works based on the internal current percepts or current data as well as model of the environment. And action execution, the agent executes the selected action in the environment which may cause changes to the state of the world. So this is a function of actuators or actuation. Actions are performed through actuators. Updating the model. Next one is model. After taking the action, the agent updates his internal model of the environment based on the new perceptual information it receives. So, updating the model, or we can say that is going to update each and every time that different models it worked or the action has been taken. So, it is going to store different types of model, or in other words, is going to update these models based on certain action. Next one is we will see the different applications of model-based reflex agents. One is robotics. If you know robotics, is navigate through dynamic environments, avoiding obstacles and reaching the specific destination. So this is another application of this. So whenever the robot is moving or is in a dynamic motion, if what are in obstacles, it stops from there and takes another direction, another route. That is one more example. Then gaming AI. Gaming, in video games, the AI opponents may use model-based reflex agents to anticipate the player actions and respond strategically. So this is also an example for model-based reflex agent. Another example is autonomous vehicles. What are autonomous vehicles? Self-driving cars rely on model-based agent to interpret sensors, data, and make decisions such as steering, accelerating, and braking based on predicted future states of the traffic and road condition. So this is another important application of model-based reflex agent. It is going to work based on the predefined models. Next one is industrial automation. To optimize production process and predicting machine failures or material shortages. See, these are all the industrial application of AI or model-based reflex agent. Dear students, so far in the session, we have discussed about the basic definition of AI, what are different applications of AI in our day-to-day life or in real life, and also we have seen, we have discussed about there are two types of agents. One is simple reflex agent and second one is model-based reflex agent. We will continue our discussion in my next session. Thank you so much.